safe for them. They need a safe place to cry, to be held firmly and gently, held as a metaphor here, in the place of futility until there is nothing left to do but cry, and to be led to the place of tears if necessary, or to be helped in finding their tears, not through primitive ways anymore, but through being able to make it easy for them to find their place, to put sadness in our own voice and to lead the way. Our challenge, what do children need from us in order to adapt to their world? To be agents of futility and angels of comfort. We need to do double duty. Now, generally, there was a division of labor. A wonderful division of labor in one of the Aboriginal societies that I was involved in, the Haida Gwaii. And interesting enough, it's a matriarchal society. And the grandparent, the grandmother, is the ultimate agent of futility. And the mother is the ultimate angel of comfort. In most of societies, it goes the other way. The mother is the agent of futility, and the grandmother is the angel of comfort, right? And of course, if you have very functioning families, sometimes mom is the agent. Mom and dad have different roles in this, and at different times, you can see that single parents would have great difficulty doing both at the same time. And many parents need to do this now, to be both agents of futility and angels of comfort. But only those adults to whom a child is deeply attached to can serve these roles. When the preschool teacher, when the daycare provider says to a mother, a father who's holding a crying child because she's resisting separation, don't you worry, hand him over to me and he'll stop crying, you see. It works because 3-year-olds don't feel safe to cry in the arms of strangers. Neither do we. Neither do we. That isn't indicative of health. We have just driven those tears underground. All children, all adults need a safe place to cry. I only have one, and I'm thankful for that one. But we all need a safe place to be able to find our tears about the things we cannot change in life. At least the tears on the inside. And so this is a place, again, that puts parents are best positioned to do this. The state cannot provide this. It cannot. There is no way that the state with any of its agents can provide this. And so this is, when we reduce it to the essence, what children truly need is what only their parents can truly provide. That doesn't mean that all parents do, but this is what we would need to do to be able to have children realize their potential. But it does mean that we are best positioned as parents to do this. We are best positioned. Nobody else is going to be able to do this for us. Nobody else. If we don't do it, it's not going to happen. And so in society, we are designated. It's designed that we do this. And so we need support. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it on its head here. What do parents need that only their children can truly provide? What do parents need in order to fulfill their roles that they need their children to provide? So I'm going to turn this around for a bit. And it turns out there are two things here that are important conditions for children to have that allow parents to fulfill their responsibilities so that play and rest and tears can result. And the two are, at their essence, are very, very simple. They go to the very core of healthy development. They're right relationships and soft hearts. What do we mean by soft hearts? Free of emotional desensitization. A child who can feel all his feelings. Not just the emotions are in them. All mammals have emotion. Only humans are capable of feeling their emotion. Feeling is a conscious part. And many, many humans do not feel their emotions. And we have been so concerned with conduct and behavior and with fitting in, we haven't recognized that emotion is at the core of it. Now, all of neuroscience has absolutely found that the limbic system is not only in charge of the development of the brain, but is basically the key to all the well-being. It is emotion that is the answer. And so we need to be healthy emotionally and have right relationships. First of all, what is right relationships? Well, what we have found is in studying attachment and looking at all the mammals, the natural context for raising our offspring is their attachments to the adults responsible. Now this is huge. This allows us to make pets of other creatures, but we can only make pets of other mammals if they attach to us. You can't take care of a kitten who doesn't attach to you. You can't take care of a dog, and so you try to manage your neighbor's dog, and if that dog is not attached to you, it won't work. You can't train a horse that isn't attached to you. And so attachment is the context for raising children. Now, we are, as adults, are role-oriented, not attachment-based. And after the Industrial Revolution, we lost the cultures and the traditions and rituals that support attachments, so we have become role-oriented. So we think now that if I am government certified as a teacher, a daycare provider, if I am government certified as a physician and as a nurse, I can take care of children because I have that role. There is nothing in nature that would support that. That would have to be supported by the child's attachment to the physician or to the nurse or to the daycare provider or to the teacher. Or to the parent, or to the foster parent, or to the adoptive parent. And so the natural context for raising children is their attachments to the adults responsible for them. This would revolutionize our society. This is the correction needed for the Industrial Revolution. And we have not yet corrected ourselves for that. So children need to be attached to those who are taking care of them, as well as teaching them. This is absolutely necessary until they realize more of their potential as human beings, and then they are capable of dealing in a world of roles and not relationships. Children need to be attached in the dependent mode to be rendered receptive and capable of being fulfilled. It's not enough to be attached. It turns out that attachment, which is primarily there to enable us to take care of each other, that attachment comes in two sets of instincts, two families of instincts to take care of. One is the instincts that has the instincts to look up to, the instincts to follow, to seek comfort in, to seek for direction of. It's all in this kind of way. And the other set of instincts we call the alpha instincts. That is the instinct to be the answer, to give the direction, to give one's bearings, to comfort, to take charge, to control, to assume responsibility. And so the way it works that way is that that attachment is only made up of dependent instincts and alpha instincts. Now this is definitely un-Swedish. It is un-Canadian too. Canada and Sweden are probably the two most countries that are so concerned about democracy. We share this in common. Our fantasy would be is to have young children in kindergarten sitting around round tables, practicing relating to their equals, and we believe that egalitarian values will spontaneously result, and democracy will be preserved forever. And so we think, and anybody knows, kindergarten children know that when they actually attach to each other, they spontaneously are hierarchically arranged, which is politically incorrect. They are hierarchically, I can't even say it, it's so politically incorrect, hierarchically arranged. And so they play teacher and student, boss, master and slave, boss or owner and pet, and all of these hierarchical games. They know nothing of equality. That's why we're so busy trying to impose our adult ways on them. Why? Because attachment is not about that. That is the result of healthy attachments. What attachment is about is arranging two individuals so one will take care of the other. It is absolutely about facilitating dependence. The person who coined the term attachment, he knew this. John Bowlby knew this. But he also knew that the British were not, dependence was not a good word. in Britain as it is not a good word in Sweden, and it's not a good word in Canada. And so he downplayed that aspect so it would be more acceptable. But there's no way around it. The Japanese attachment theorist Tokyo Doi, when he wrote his book, he knew nothing of classic attachment theory. He wrote it in isolation. And he named his book very simply Anatomy of Dependence. That would not sell in Sweden. But that's what it is. And so this is what it happens, and this is how closeness is. And science is not politically correct, unfortunately. And so sometimes it's harder to get the message across. But there's nothing to be afraid of, because the result of dependency needs being fulfilled is individuals who automatically long for egalitarian relationships. But it's the fruit of, not the education of. And that makes all the difference. And so the reason for this is to be able to differentiate. The alpha is meant to provide. That to be the answer. And the answer is to orient and inform, to protect and defend, to guide and direct. These are the instincts, and you even see them there in other mammals. Many of these, the alpha instincts. That's to provide. And that is meant to be the answer to the seeking instincts, which now the term is called seeking in neuroscience. The seeking instincts, which is to get one's bearings, to serve and obey, to seek assistance, to look up to belong, to follow, to wait for orders, to look for guidance, comply and conform. Now, even if you get two identical twins and they attach to each other, they're identical. What more could you fantasize for egalitarian? Completely identical in every way. And yet when they attach to each other, what's going to happen? The only way they can attach is hierarchical. So one develops a dependent personality and the other an alpha personality. Ideally, it would reciprocate, but often it's not ideally. Now the same thing in a marriage relationship. When they attach, they move to take care of each other. Now the ideal marriage, at any one time, one person will present themselves, this is the way it should be. When you sense the need in your spouse, you present yourself with wonderful arrogance. You're lucky to have me, babe. I'm your answer. Produces a tremendous, and this is what it's to be. And as soon as they sense a need in you, it's vice versa. That's a wonderful, wonderful dance. Now, the Italians know that dance. The Greeks know that dance. The Swedes are losing that dance. The Canadians are losing that dance. And the chemistry goes out of our marriage when we lose that dance. Because we must believe that we are the answer to the other. But where is the equality in it? In the reciprocal nature. That we both take care of each other. Over time, it is there. But at any given moment, only one can drive the car at a time. Only one take the lead at a time, and so on and so on. And so this is, if we give a good providing presence, it should inspire the seeking. And this is exactly the way it was meant to be in traditional cultures. The alpha presence is scripted. So there is the good walk of the provider, and it inspires the dependence of children. And we are giving rise in both Sweden and Canada to the most alpha children that you can imagine. And in Britain, in alpha children, in fact all over in the United States, children who are bossy, who are prescriptive, who are demanding, children who are very hard to manage. Why? Because they're in the wrong mode. Our immigrant populations, their children are actually more better behaved than ours, because we are not taking our rightful place in their life. And when we are so concerned about eradicating any hierarchy whatsoever, we've lost the essence of what attachment is about. And it will come, equality will come, but dependency needs to be taken care of. This is the dance that needs to happen, and so many are losing it.